I used to be the hardest working invisible person in my career. Even my mentor told me with her own mouth, Chantel, you will never be a manager. And you know what? She was right. I became a VP. That's the real flex. But I talk a lot about visibility because I know what it feels like to be on the other side of invisibility. I was invisible because I thought my work would speak for itself. I was raised in a household where I was taught hard work. You work hard. You put your head down, you don't make a big fuss, and people will see the results that you bring to the table. But there came a point in my career where that wasn't true. They did not see the results of what I was putting out there. They did not see the fruits of my hard work. They didn't see the fact that I was the first to come in the office and the last to leave. So why visibility is so important to me is because even in the wake of AI, organizations are still primarily ran by human beings with a heartbeat, human beings with an opinion, and even human beings with bias. And most people promote, hire, and they advance the careers of people that they know. And this is why networking is important. This is why networking up is important. This is why having multiple mentors and sponsors in your organization is important. And if you work for a large organization, not to only focus on mentors that are in your immediate department, look at mentors that are outside of your department, that are doing the work and have the skills that you aspire to have. I remember finding 4 mentors. One of my mentors was a comptroller. The reason why I looked for a comptroller is simply because finance was not my expertise. And according to my research, having a financial acumen was very critical and important to being in an executive role. And that was an area of opportunity for me. I also found a peer mentor in a different company so that I can gain insights on what they were doing, see where the alignments were, see where the gaps were for me. I also was bold and brave, and I went to the C-suite and I got a mentor who was the Chief Human Resources Officer. Many people underestimate having HR as a mentor, HR as a partner. I think I learned so much having multiple partners in HR, just being curious and asking questions about things like comp ratio, things about variations of compensation packages, understanding the promotion process. Some organizations have it public, some organizations don't. And what I mean by that is, what do organizations look for when they're looking to advance to the next level and the level after that? You can use that in your conversations when you're advocating for a promotion. You can come in with a T-chart, and what that T-chart looks like, on one side it shows your skill set, on the other side it shows what they said they are looking for. So as you're articulating your value, putting forth a business case, or advocating for yourself for a promotion, instead of using I feel, I felt, and you're leading with emotions, lead with the words that they have put out. What do they say the next level looks like? What skills, what responsibilities, what capabilities, what education, what pedigree do you have to fulfill one of those roles successfully? And if you're looking for a real-time strategy from a real expert, grab my book, Promote Your Damn Self. It's available on Amazon and on my website, chantellove.com/books. In that book, I detail my entire career, every experience that I've had with a mentee that I've coached and clients that I've coached, on how to overcome things like imposter syndrome, how to vocalize your value, how to think about your work from the perspective of skills specifically on how much money you saved the company, how much money you've made the company, how you've retained clients and retained employees, the things that really matter in organizations. I also give the strategies on how to think about monetizing your experience and your expertise, how to ask for a pay raise, for a promotion, how to advance your career in ways that you may not be thinking about. Again, the book is Promote Your Damn Self. It's available on Amazon and on my website, chantellove.com/books. You better get it. And I think that that's critical. That's the missing element. A lot of people say, I feel like I should be promoted. I feel like I should be advancing in my career. But according to who? If it's according to you, And with all due respect, if it's according to you and not according to the people who truly have the power to advance your career, it's just not going to work most times. But I say that it's important to surround yourself with those people who have the power, authority, and influence. And I actually use this quote often. I like to put myself in the rooms where my dreams are realities. And that applies to my career, that applies to my business. And at a point in my life, I was very insecure about that. You know, being around people who were more experienced than me, who had more money than me, that had a bigger title than me. But then I had to realize the fact that the reason why they had more experience than me is because they had more experience than me. And experience comes with the years. If God blessed me with the days, I can have more experience. Again, like with the title, like I used to be intimidated to be in rooms with people who had bigger titles than me. And the reason why they had bigger titles than me is because they had more experience, or they had gotten to that point before me. And if God blessed me with the years, I can get to that point where I can get a title. Same with, starting a business. There were so many people who had businesses that were making money, and they had clients, and they had this presence. And we get so fixated on what we see a person doing now that we ignore them shooting in the gym, ignore the years of hard work, labor that they put in behind the scenes that we did not see. So if maybe you're feeling like you're in a space where you're not capable, or maybe you're feeling intimidated by the fact that it feels so far away, or maybe you don't know where to start. And what I would encourage you, if you're feeling any of those feelings, honestly, just be curious. There is, we can often focus and fixate on the negative parts, on what people will not do. But my life has been filled with so much grace and favor that it has revealed to me that there are still really good people out there in this world that want to support if you ask. A lot of us are ashamed and embarrassed to ask because we believe we should know already. But how can you know already if you haven't been taught? And yes, somebody may say no, but there's somebody that will say yes. So what I would say is be curious. If you're looking for mentorship, if you're looking for sponsors, if you're looking for executive sponsors, start to get curious. Ask inside your organization and outside of your organization. And don't just ask, can you be my mentor? Can you be my sponsor? Be clear about what you want. If you're looking to advance in your career to get to the next level, and let's assume that next level is a director level, and that director level is over sales, and you are currently in a sales role, you want to go with a clearly framed out discussion. Hey, I've admired your work. If you have an intranet in your organization, or if it's someone outside of your organization on LinkedIn, let them know that you've done some research. Hey, I've read your white paper. I listened to your podcast. I see that you work with this person that I know. Make that common connection. That builds rapport. Then position the ask. Hey, I understand that, life is busy, but I am currently in the market for a mentor or a sponsor. I have 15 years of experience, doing XYZ. And my goal in the next 18 to 24 months is to get to a director of sales role. I have done my research. I have studied. I've taken these courses, but I believe having an opportunity to speak to someone who's actually done the work and to glean from your experience will be a delight. And in exchange, I believe that I can also offer reverse mentoring because I am an expert in XYZ. And I think that it's important to frame it that way, as a mutual benefit versus what can you give me? Also think about what you can give someone else. So you've walked and talked with me. What's the number one takeaway from this video? What questions do you have? And how do you plan to apply this in your organization? I'll talk to you soon. Time for me to stretch.